Well, hello everybody. This is Mrs. Eckert, and I'm going to be teaching Lesson 2. So Lesson 2 is all about finding HK. So if you remember from Lesson 1, all of our vertices, where everything started from, or our starting points were 0, 0. So now we're going to change that. So we're going to get into shifting left and right and shifting up and down. So the very first thing that I want to do right now is I want to cross this off. I don't like the middle part. It tends to confuse people, so we're going to just cross that off. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this x minus h and we're going to set it equal to 0. And if we add h to each side, we get x equals h. Okay? That number, or whatever we solve, is going to be the x-coordinate of the vertex. So h is going to be that x-coordinate. Then the k, if I switch colors here, the k, which is right here, is going to be the y-coordinate of the vertex. And so our vertex would be h comma k. Okay, we're going to do one of each example. I am not going to spend time doing the whole entire packet. So let's go ahead and move things up and we'll go ahead and get started. So the first example is number 1. And if you remember, we're going to do what I just said. We're going to set the inside equal to 0. If I subtract 4 from each side, I get negative 4. And negative 4 is going to be the x-coordinate of the vertex. Okay? Then we have the k, or the y-coordinate, and that would be the number that is outside of the function. So if I switch here and I go back to my numbers, so then we will have a 5 for my y-coordinate of my vertex. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start graphing. So if we go over negative 4 and then we go up 5, we're going to get something right there. Okay? And we're going to set up and we're going to do our tables. But for our table, we're going to, instead of x and then y, we're going to go ahead and make this an absolute value of x. So if you remember from our day 1 notes, we used 1, 2, negative 1, and negative 2. And the absolute value of 1 is 1, absolute value of 2 is 2, absolute value of negative 1 is 1, absolute value of negative 2 is 2. Then we're going to do our transformations. I'm going to switch colors so you can kind of follow me on this. So we're going to go right 1 and up 1 from the vertex. So if you go over to the vertex, we go right 1 and up 1. That's going to be that point right there. Then we go right 2 and up 2. We're going to start at the vertex, the blue dot, go over 2 and up 2. And I could continue and go 3, 3, and 4, 4 if I wanted to. But that would be the right side of my V. Then if we go left 1, but we're still going to go up 1, and I should say left, not right. Left. So left 1 and up 1, so that would be there. And then left 2 and up 2 from the vertex, and that would be there. So if I graph that, then I would get those straight lines. So there we have our V. Okay, well, our domain would be negative infinity to infinity because it's arrow to arrow from left to right. Our low would be up here. If you look at the low point, would be my vertex. So then my low point would be, let's go back, and my lowest point would be what is the y at that vertex? Well, the y coordinate is 5, so it's going to be 5 with a bracket all the way up to the arrows, which is the highest point, which is infinity. So there's your domain and range. The x-intercept, there's actually none here. So for the x-intercept, we will have nothing, because the x-intercept means where does it cross the x-axis. And the y-intercept, if you continue and you look at my red graph and I went up 3 over 3, up 4 over 4, it would end up at 9. But if I didn't know, I could set it equal the x equal to 0. So I go 0 plus 4, take the absolute value of it, and add 5. So I get the absolute value of 4 plus 5, which would be 4 plus 5, which is also 9, and that's my y-intercept. So remember, when you solve for the y-intercept, your x is 0. Now, the blank I left was the transformation. So we're going to actually use words, and it refers to my vertex. So if you look at -4, that's the x-coordinate, so that would be a shift of 4 to the left, and the 5 in the y would be positive, so that would be 5 up. And you can put the arrows in front or behind. So that would be the absolute value graph. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go on down to the next graph, which is the quadratic function. So if we look at the quadratic function, we're going to look at our vertex, so we're going to set the same thing. We're going to go x minus 1 equals 0, so therefore x is 1. So we're going to put that in our vertex. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the plus 4, and the plus 4 will be the y-coordinate, so our vertex is 1, 4. Let's go ahead and do the transformation. So from 0, 0, it moved a positive 1 on the x, so that's a shift of 1 to the right, and a positive 4 means on the y-axis it's 4 going up. So if we go through and graph 1, 4, we're going to be about right here. And let me change my color, and we're going to go ahead and do our table. So if you remember, we did the same 4 points. So 1, 2, -1, -2. But this time we're going to take our x and we're going to square it. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, -1 squared is also 1, and -2 squared is positive 4. So we're going to use our red pen, and we're going to go right 1 and up 1 from our vertex. So that puts it here. Then we're going to go right 2 and up 4 from the vertex again. So start at the blue dot, go over 2 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're about right here. Then we're going to go left 1 and up 1. So left 1 and up 1. And then we're going to go left 2 and up 4. So that would go left 2 from the vertex and up 4, which would be right here. So your graph would be more of a curve. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our domain and range. So I'll switch colors. So domain and range, if we go back, it is arrow to arrow going left to right. So that would be a negative infinity to positive infinity. The range is low to high, so if we go up low, we're going to go up in here, and the lowest point is my vertex. But what's the y at that lowest point? Well, the 4 is my y. Okay, so I got a 4, and that's going to be a bracket all the way up to positive infinity. Okay, again, this one does not intersect the x-axis, so we're going to put none. But the y-intercept, if you look, when you went over left 1 and up 1, you ended up at 5. So you don't even need to solve that one. And that would be my quadratic function. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go up. Let's go to the cubic function. Those equations you're seeing, we're going to get back to those. Let's just go ahead and get this kind of situated first. Okay, so cubic function, here we go. So the cubic function, we're still going to do the same thing. We're going to go x minus 2 equals 0, x equals 2. So we're going to put 2 at our starting point. Remember, it's not a vertex because the left and the right side of the vertex are not exactly the same. It's not symmetrical. And then we've got the plus 1, so we're going to put our plus 1 right there. So our vertex is at 2, 1. So go over 2 and up 1. Here's our vertex. We're going to use the same points, 1, 2, -1, and -2, but this time we're going to cube it. So when we cube it, 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, -1 cubed is -1, and -2 cubed is -8. So if we use red, I'll change it to red again so we can see it. So we're going to go right 1 and up 1 from the new vertex. So if you go right 1 and up 1, that would be right there. Go right 2 and up 8 from the new vertex. 1, 2, up 8, so we're at 1, so we're going to be up at 9. Then we're going to go back left 1 and down 1. So if I go left 1 and down 1, I'm there. There's my x-intercept. And left 2 and down 8. So it'd be over 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about right there. So when you come in to draw that, you're coming down, going up through that one, do a little bend, and we're going up through there. Okay. Well, if we do our domain and range, if you look left and right, and if you remember from class, the cubic function is the only one that will be negative infinity to infinity on both the domain and range, because both of them have arrows. From low to high or from left to right, it's arrow to arrow. My x-intercept actually proves to be a pretty nice point here because we went over 1 and down 1, so this would be at 1. The y-intercept actually is okay too because we went over and down 8, so I am at, looks like 7, negative 7. The only thing I forgot to do is the transformation. So we're talking again about their transformations is with respect to the 2, 1. So it's a shift. We're going 2 to the right, and we're going 1 up. Looks like we haven't gone any down yet for the 1s. Okay, and that is your cubic function. So let's look at the last one, which is the square root function. Let me see if we can find one. Let's do number 11, because that way we go down. We haven't gone down in a little bit. So we'll do number 11, and then we'll look at some of the equations. Okay. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to set it equal to 0. So x plus 1 equals 0. So x is negative 1. That would be your starting point. And then the minus 3 would be your y coordinate. So if we do the transformations, that's still a shift. But this time we're going left 1 and down 3 because they're both negative. Okay. If you remember, though, this particular one, we're not going to use the points 1, 2, negative 1, negative 2, because we can't take the square root of a negative number. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 4, because 4 and 9 are all perfect squares. So if I make this y into the square root of x, the square root of 1 is 1, the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3. So if we switch colors and we go to our red so you can see what I did, we're going to go over 1 and up 1 from the vertex. So I probably ought to graph the vertex first. Vertex is negative 1, negative 3, so the vertex is right there. And then we're going to do our red. So I'm going to go right 1 and up 1, right 1, up 1. And then I'm going right 4, up 2 from the vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, up 2. And then I'm going to go right 9 and up 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 9, 1, 2, 3. And that puts me at the x-intercept, so that's nice. So if I draw my graph, there is my square root graph. So the domain is actually starting at a point. And if you look at the point that it's starting at, let me get this off. It would be this point right here. So it's starting at that point. So you're going to ask yourself, what is the x-coordinate at the starting point? Well, the x-coordinate's negative 1. So it's going to be negative 1. We're going to have a bracket all the way up to infinity. The range also starts at that low point, but the y at that low point is actually negative 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to get negative 3 with a bracket, but it also goes to positive infinity. Okay, negative 3 to infinity. So the x-intercept, if you remember when I was graphing, when I went over 9 and up 3, I actually ended up at the x-intercept. So if we write what the x-intercept is, it looks like it is 8. Yes, I'm okay. And the y-intercept was the over 1, up 1, which ended up being negative 2. So that would be my transformations for that particular graph. Okay, while we're at it, why don't we go ahead and do one of these equations down here at the bottom. Okay, so this time what you're doing is you're taking the information and you're going to write the equation. Okay, so it says write the equation of a function that is shifted down 4. I like to draw